tracks. Visit IGotItMS.com.
Well, I got it.
I got it.
You already know. I got the COVID-19 vaccine.
I got it because you can only do prom once.
I got it because my team got big buzz this year.
I got it because my wife needs all the help he can get.
I got it because this school year is going to be awesome.
I got it because I missed my friends.
Sign up to get your vaccine today. Find out how at IGotItMS.com.
Let's go! Hey, it's time to hydrate.
Best kept secret in sports, no longer a secret.
Okay, so how long have you been coming to Stan's?
Since 1987. I've forever loved Stan's Burgers because the people, they're real people. They help the community and their family own and operate. And the food, the quality, and service has always been phenomenal. And anywhere I'm at, I always recommend people to them. It's great food, and you get enough love for your money. If you need a good place to eat and you want a good environment to support the community and support the effort of the Jackson community, I recommend Stan's Super Burger to you because, like I said,
It's Pink Friday 2021, and here's a message from one of our survivors.
Hello, I'm Robin Roberts, and I am happy to join the American Cancer Society in the fight against breast cancer. As a breast cancer survivor and proud Mississippi native, I'm honored to support Pink Friday, a fundraiser for breast cancer awareness. We all have a part to play in this fight, and by working together, one day we are determined to find a cure for breast cancer. Get your tickets now to support this wonderful event.
If you're looking for quality seafood with friendly service, then the Fish Shack is the place for you. We're fast, fresh, and convenient, and ready to serve you today. You can order online and come in, or pick up your food curbside. We have outdoor seating as well. Need something to cool your taste buds? We have tasty daiquiris that you're sure to love. So come see us today at the Fish Shack in Byram, where we have great seafood and good daiquiris.
Well, I got it.
I got it.
Of course I got it.
I got it right after work.
that's right. I got the COVID-19 vaccine.
Because self-care.
I got it because I wanted to get back to my normal.
I was one of the first ones that got it. And now, I'm helping others get theirs.
So let's get it together. Sign up and get your vaccine today, and let's stop COVID in its tracks. Visit IGotItMS.com.
Well, I got it.
I got it.
You already know. I got the COVID-19 vaccine.
I got it because you can only do prom once.
I got it because my team got big buzz this year.
I got it because my wife needs all the help he can get.
I got it because this school year is going to be awesome.
I got it because I missed my friends.
Sign up to get your vaccine today. Find out how at IGotItMS.com.
Let's go! Hey, it's time to hydrate.
Best kept secret in sports, no longer a secret.
Okay, so how long have you been coming to Stan's?
Since 1987. I've forever loved Stan's Burgers because the people, they're real people. They help the community and their family own and operate. And the food, the quality, and service has always been phenomenal. And anywhere I'm at, I always recommend people to them. It's great food, and you get enough love for your money. If you need a good place to eat and you want a good environment to support the community and support the effort of the Jackson community, I recommend Stamps Super Burger to you because, like I said,
It's Pink Friday 2021, and here's a message from one of our survivors.
Hello, I'm Robin Roberts, and I am happy to join the American Cancer Society in the fight against breast cancer. As a breast cancer survivor and proud Mississippi native, I'm honored to support Pink Friday, a fundraiser for breast cancer awareness. We all have a part to play in this fight, and by working together, one day we are determined to find a cure for breast cancer. Get your tickets now to support this wonderful event.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and for all those who's listening and watching it from around the world. And we are now live from the corner of Dalton and Lynch Street. It's the show where we take you inside the game before the game begins. It's the pregame with your host, Charles Bishop and Neely. So get ready because we pregame harder than the other show's party. It's the pregame.
And welcome into the pregame show here on the Black College Sports Network. It is Charles Bishop, it is Neely, and it is another Jackson State game day, my brother.
Man, beautiful day here at the vet. I got my shades on because, I've been outside. But, Chuck, I said, what?
Shades, yeah.
I'm going to come in the studio with Chuck today and hang out because Chuck will have me on the damn roof at the end zone, getting musty way before kickoff. I said, look, I'm coming in here, man. I'm chilling out with Chuck today.
No doubt, man. I tell you what, we're coming off of a tremendous, it was a glorious homecoming victory last week against Alabama State, 28-7. 53,000 Jackson State faithful packed into the vet last week. It was phenomenal.
It was phenomenal, man. 10th largest crowd for Jackson State, the largest homecoming for Jackson State, the largest homecoming in HBCU, period. Beautiful sight, beautiful time, man. Everybody was here. Good to see the world back open. Folks are vaccinated, still practicing social distancing, still people had masks on, and we were able to get 53,000 plus in the vet with no spike, no uptick in the virus spreading. So it shows it can be done. It shows we can enjoy our culture, we can enjoy our way of life and still do things safely during this pandemic. So we always encourage folks, man, get vaccinated, practice social distancing, but still come out and support the Tigers. And it's not too late, Chuck, to come out today. Kickoff is at 1 p.m. at the vet. Tickets are available. And Chuck, we won that homecoming game, man.
We won that homecoming game. A little bit of a slow start last week, but the guys picked it up there in the second half. You take a look at some of the stats from last week. Shedeur Sanders, 17 of 29, 201 yards, 2 touchdowns, and the running game. Santee Marshall, 24 carries, 96 yards. And then Keith Corbin, he was the recipient last week, 7 catches, 113 yards. Offense really picked it up there in the second half and really put their foot down on the gas.
They did, man. And, we've had that happen all season long. Start a little slow. And then when we get it going, all gas, no brakes, we just start racking up points. We always come out a little sluggish in that first quarter, if you will. Sometimes it even extends into the second quarter.
Sure.
So we're going to look to, to get past that today as we take on Bethune-Cookman here at the vet at 1 p.m. kickoff. And, we can't, and we're going to get into it, Chuck, a little deeper dive later on, but this team is coming in here 0-7. But please don't be fooled by their record because they're putting up points and they're stopping people from scoring. They just find a way to lose. This is a competitive team. This is a good team. This is a team with an outstanding running game. So our defensive line is going to be tested today. We're going to get into all that, Chuck, but, just looking back, homecoming last week, record crowd, record attendance for a homecoming, beautiful weather, and got the win.
Of course, a huge storyline coming into this game. Coach Prime, he will not be on the sidelines today. Coach Harrell, Coach Flea, he'll be taking over on the sidelines today. And I tell you what, you had an opportunity to chat with him. And I tell you what, he's looking forward to getting out there on that sideline today.
Yeah, spent some time with Coach Flea, as we love to call him, this week at practice, in the team meetings. And you'll hear in the interview coming up, he hasn't missed a beat. Coach Flea has been a head coach. He played college football and played at the next level. But in this instance, played at the HBCU. He played for Howard and went on to become the head coach at Howard. So his time on the sideline today is not his first time wearing the head coach's headset. And he had everybody, dialed in and focused to make sure that this preparation for this week in the game today is done. In his words, WWPD. What would Prime do?
What would Prime do? What would Prime do? You touched on it. He was the former head coach at Howard. He was head coach at Howard in 2011, 2012, then came back on for a second stint, 2014 through 2016. But the program is very much in capable hands today.
Very much in capable hands, just like this show is in capable hands, Chuck. We got to give a shout out to our sponsors, attorney Terrace Harris with the Cochran Group. Title sponsor for this weekend, for this Bethune-Cookman weekend. Cannot forget about Chambers and Gaylor, who's been with us since day one.
Indeed.
And the restaurants, man, Bravo, Sal and Mookie's. We were at Sal and Mookie's
last night.
Even gave out some free tickets as Chuck ate at least 10 of the 15 wings we ordered. I was counting the bones, man. I'm like, dog, like, you got to slow up. Like, this is supposed to be, we're supposed to get like 7 each and then fight over the last one. But those Sal and Mookie wings are delicious.
Yes,
I know when you're in town, Chuck, you go to Broad Street, and you love those cheese grits there.
Yes, sir.
And bringing in for our special segments that we'd love to do on the sideline with Coach Prime's blessing, straight from the tiger's mouth. BioSteel.
Yes, indeed.
BioSteel has joined us, and they're exclusively sponsoring straight from the tiger's mouth. So we got some straight from the tiger's mouth homecoming editions. We're going to be rolling this show so that y'all can see what took place last week. But we're looking forward to today, Chuck, in this Bethune-Cookman matchup.
Looking forward to today, Bethune-Cookman matchup. Jackson State leads the series 4-3. Of course, when we last saw Bethune-Cookman, it was the MEAC SWAC Challenge where Bethune-Cookman won that game in Atlanta 36-15. But there is some history to the Bethune-Cookman team in Jackson State. It goes back all the way to 1972. Like I said, Jackson State leads the series 4-3. This will be the 8th contest, but 72, 73, 74, 77, 78. Took some time off, didn't see each other for a decade, come back again in 1989, and then once again 2019. So Jackson State comes.
The stat man, Charles Bishop. In the words of Richard Pryor, book the number, didn't need paper nor pencil. He didn't read none of that, y'all. I can flip my camera around. He don't have nan note over there, but he can tell you what Bethune-Cookman had for breakfast in 1977.
Hey, we got to keep up with those things, man. Got to keep up with those things. But I tell you what, it should be a phenomenal game. We're going to get into all of it. It is looking forward to what this Jackson State offense and defense can do today with this Bethune-Cookman team. And you mentioned it, 0-7 thus far on the season, but they are a scary 0-7. They got some playmakers on both sides of the ball.
They do. And Chuck, why don't we dial up right now, Roy, our talk with Coach Flea. We spent some time here at practice and, shared some content with our partners over at HBCU Game Day. So we have a clip of our interview with Coach Flea, and he's going to give y'all some insight on today's game and what is going to take place in his preparations with the team this week.
For you guys, so you guys can get in, give a good look. We got to have a good day, a great day. We got to bounce back today, fellas. We got to do it together. So we still got special teams right now. When we finish, we'll show a video. I think offense, you guys be walk through on the field. Defense, which you got to check with the coach if you got meetings on walkthrough. So we'll end around about 7:35 on meetings, okay? All players out of the locker room 7:45. All right, so get over. Don't take your time getting over. Get over, get dressed. We got shoulder pads and helmets. All right, make sure we got the right bottoms on. We all as one, black socks, like Coach Pryor laid the foundation. We'll start one group as far as flex at 7:50. So we'll stretch together at 7:50. Special teams be kickoff. All right, then we'll go to field goal for about 5 minutes ending, and we're gonna start the thing off with a 2-minute, ones on ones. Get it. That's how we're gonna start it off. We got the situation 1:45 on the clock, ball minus 35. We need a touchdown to score with 2 timeouts. You got a team period, so we'll change it up. When they say no 2 spot, that means we won't have two offensive on each side. We're gonna have 1 spot like Coach Bryan sometimes do. All eyes on 1 spot. Offense, you got your 5 plays versus the scout team. I want reps, I want tempo. Run on the field, run off the field. As soon as that 5 plays are over, run off the field. And next defense up, you got your 5 plays. So scout team, you already should have the play, run on the field. Get off for 5 plays, get off the field, we'll come back offense. So you got 10 plays offensively, 10 plays defensively. We cannot have do-overs. We ain't got time to slow it down. We'll coach on the field. We out there to get tempo and get this thing going. We have 7-on-7. When we say 2 spot, we'll 2 spot it. We got numbers. All right, and so we can get reps from the quarterbacks and receivers. So we'll 2 spot that. Then we have a special team punt return. Red zone once again, we all in 1. All right, no 2 spot. 5 plays offense, 5 plays defense. Offense back up for 5, then defense up. Then back up as far as then back up. We'll 2 spot that again because it's only about 5 minutes to hold on the plays. We want to make sure we get production today, guys. All right, so we change this for you, for tempo. All right, to get that energy going. Today got to be that day. Any questions? They'll hoodie up, buddy. All right, Coach.
All right.
So yeah, Chuck, you know, we've been in those sessions with Coach Bryan, and you didn't hear any different tone, any different tenor from Coach Flea being up there.
Correct.
You know, that walking through the guys, that was on Thursday morning, what was going to take place at practice that day, what the expectations were, that we were going to dial it up. And this is that practice in this game is going to be about tempo, and doing all the things that Coach Bryan would have us do. And speaking of Coach Bryan, man, just, you know, thoughts and prayers
very much so
to him as he heals up and rests up. So we're thinking of him and pulling for him and know he's one of the toughest SOBs I've ever met. So if anybody can come back and bounce back, it is Deion Sanders, Coach Bryan. And so we'll get through the day with a capable coaching staff
very much so
that he has assembled. And, you know, we talk about next man up. And we'll now go to the interview that we did with Coach Flea out at practice that we shared with our partners over at HBCU Game Day. But you talk about next man up, it just doesn't apply to the players.
Sure.
This staff is built around that people can do other people's jobs. And so Coach Bryan tapped Coach Flea to be a part of the staff because of his head coach experience, because of his HBCU experience. And he is really what I call the consigliere.
I like that. Consigliere.
You know, if you watch those Mafia movies,
yes.
if you watch the Mafia movies, you'll see the Don sitting there, and there's always a guy in the corner.
There you go.
That's there for the meeting after the meeting.
You
and
got to
that's
have
Coach,
a Tom. Yes.
Yeah, that is Coach Flea's role in this program, man. He is, as Coach Bryan said when he announced that he was sitting this week and letting Coach Flea take the reins as interim head coach, he said, "That's my right-hand man."
There you go.
You know, that is my right-hand man. So, hey, let's go to Coach Flea out at practice and our talk with him, and you're going to hear some insights on what to expect out of today's game under the leadership of Coach Flea.
You've heard the news now. Coach Deion Sanders will not be on the sidelines this weekend for Jackson State University as they take on Bethune-Cookman, but Coach Gary Harrell will be there in his absence as the interim coach for the weekend. Our Neely from the pregame show had an exclusive conversation with Coach Harrell this morning. Let's listen in on that.
Coach, talk to us about this week's preparation.
This week we're trying to make sure we stay consistent. You know, every day, nothing changed. Stay on the same path that Coach Bryan put us on. He laid a foundation, put together a great staff. TC Williams on offense, running the offense. Dennis Thurman on defense, running the defense. And we want to make sure we do it as a unit and make sure we be leaders of men and show them that even though Coach Bryan is not here physically, you know, he's still with us spiritually. We still hear his voice. We still feel his spirit. We want to make sure that we continue to go out and honor him, respect him, that he put us in this position to do what we do what we love. So this week is all about preparing for a team that we know is going to be a tough team. We're coming here with great coaches that I've known for a long time. But it's all about us right now to make sure we stay as one, as a family. Don't lose focus. Understand what is our wanted factor, and just continue to strive for that goal.
So let me double back on that. You know, we're facing a team that's 0-7, 0-4 in the SWAC. Yes. How do we get a team ours that's rolling so hard to not take them for granted because of their record?
Yeah, you know, we don't look at the record. We look at the opponent. We know that Bethune-Cookman is a worthy opponent. They play hard. You watch them on film. They're going to get to the ball. They're going to make plays on offense. And, you know, they got a great coaching staff. I've known Coach Sims for a very long time. He's been doing it very well for a very long time. And Yogi on defense, a great coach, and we know that they're going to come in with their best. So we got to make sure we show up with our best, but we want to stay consistent once again. As long as we do what we do, we feel like offensively, we move the ball, put points on the board. Defense, we get out to the quarterback, stop the run, and just make them one-dimensional. Special teams, continue to be a sniper and go down the field and take that one shot and take that one kill. But we want to make sure that all phases understand that we don't take any opponent lightly. We want to play that team, not the record. We want to play that logo. We want to bring our band, we want to bring our fan base, we want to bring our team into that stadium and make sure we represent JSU all around.
Coach, in football, we always talk about next man up, being prepared, you know, and focus on the players. This week, that applies to the coaching staff. What does it mean to you to be tapped to lead this team this week?
Well, you know, it's an honor, it's a pleasure for Coach Brian to put that trust in myself. But once again, I always believe in a collective of men doing things together. So Coach Brian laid the foundation. You know, we're just in the driver's seat trying to keep it. We're gonna keep it in the middle of the road. That's our goal. Follow his plan, follow his perception, his vision, and make sure we don't deviate from that plan. But with TC on offense, you know, we have great confidence what he has going on with DT on defense. You know, we have a great staff, and we do it together. The thing about us, we're close as a staff. We communicate. You know, we work well together. And I think the players see that and they feed off that. So it's not about myself. It's not about who's the interim head coach. It's about the coaching staff staying together, pulling together, make sure all the parts, all the moving parts are coming together, that the tempo, the energy that we displayed the previous week, that the smart, fast, tough, discipline, the core values that we preach on every day, that do not drop off. Play our level of football, and everything else will take care of itself.
Now, you've been not only a player in HBCU, you've been a head coach in HBCU. What is it going to be like calling on that experience this weekend against a SWAC opponent?
You know, usually as a head coach, man, I'm not the biggest fan, man. Once I get into the game, you know, I've been through those situations. You know, I play the game through my head. You know, as a head coach at Howard, I always leaned on my staff. And once again here, even though I'm the interim head coach, I'm leaning on the staff together to get it done. You know, through the leadership, you know, just understanding what Prime would do in this situation, what will Prime do in this situation, because this is his team, this is his program. So as an interim head coach, I got to make sure that I do not deviate from his plan. I got to make sure that I carry out his mission. We got to make sure together we stay together and be a family like he wants us to be, and show the love that he displayed amongst the players, amongst the community, amongst the program. We just continue to love each other as a family and get it done as a family. As a head coach, you know, once you go out there, you want to make sure throughout the week the preparation leading up to the game is what it is. Yesterday, we didn't have the focus, we didn't have the mindset that we needed to be victorious. So today is that bounce back day. You know, that's why I got this tennis ball. Today is that bounce back day. We got to bounce back from yesterday and make sure we come out with that energy. We got to come out with that tempo and make sure the production when it comes to no do-overs as far as getting to the ball, the tempo, the energy level, it has to be here today. All right, it's Thursday. Tomorrow's a walkthrough, so this is the last day of the week that we got to show, okay, that we're definitely ready to go out and play our brand of football. And that's getting to the football on defense, that's making plays, being explosive on offense, and special teams always being the aggressor, being the hammer, not the nail.
Now, you talked about deviation, what would Prime do? I had the honor, privilege, and pleasure to ride around with you in Miami during that family game, and I know about Coach Flea's playlist. Is there going to be a deviation from the theme music?
My hitter. And we gonna make sure we represent Coach Prime to the fullest, man. Nothing would change, nothing at all, because he got a great plan together. Why change it? You know, Nick Saban do what he do. You know, why change it? You know, if you got the recipe, if you got the blueprint for success, don't be stupid. Don't be egotistic and try to do it your way. We're not the type people on offense as far as coaches on defense, as coaches, as a staff. We understand what we have and we appreciate that. And the players appreciate it. Everyone understand what we're working towards. And we always preach on it. You know, you got to be selfless. You can't think about yourself. You got to think about the team before you put yourself in those situations.
Coach, we appreciate it, man. Any final words you want to give to the fans out there?
No, just continue to support us, man. Keep Coach Brian in your prayers, you know, as we go through this mission. You know, everything that we do is because of him. You know, he gets us going every morning. We follow his leadership. He comes every morning, don't take a day off. He has to take these days off because of what he's going through, the pain and suffering. But he's still here with us as far as spiritually. You know, we hear his voice, we feel his spirit. And we want to make sure that you guys continue to come out and support. We had 55,000 last week. Let's have 65,000 this week. Let's continue to grow as a community. Let's continue to grow as a university. We love you guys. We know you guys love us, and we feel it. And every week we go out to support you guys and do what we love to do. And we thank you for all that you have done up to this point.
Go Tigers.
Go Tigers.
Welcome back here to the pregame show here on the Black College Sports Network. Tell you what, Neely, the theme doesn't change. Smart, fast, tough, discipline. Like Coach Flea said, you keep everything the way it has been going thus far. So that was a great interview.
Yeah, it's been working, man. He's a pleasurable guy to be around. And Chuck, I had to ask him about that playlist because,
of course,
when we were in Miami and getting around traffic, I hopped in with him a couple times, man. And that brother know how to pick some tunes, man. So I was wondering if he was going to change it up, but it's going to be my hitter, y'all. Like nothing's
there you go.
Change. We got a recipe. The recipe has been working. We've had much success this season, and Coach Flea will still be involved in the running game. Nice to meet you. You're live right now. All right, good.
How you doing?
Or make yourself at home or walk around, do whatever. All right, Coach, talk to you soon.
Coach Michael Pollock.
Yeah, Coach Michael Pollock stopping by. Coach Hart is going to swing in well, so next break I'll run grab him. But Coach Flea is energetic, man. He's excited. He's still going to be involved in the very important running game today.
Yes.
And he understands this team. He understands the working relationship with the fellow coaches, and that anyone could step up at a moment's notice and lead this team. So we're not looking to see some kind of downtrend because our head coach is not here today. We're actually looking for a uptick because the players are excited. The players want to do this for Coach Prime and his recovery. They are in good spirits. Shedeur Sanders, QB1, is pumped about this game and wants to spread that ball around. And so I saw one of our viewers ask, what's the mood of the team? The mood of the team is high.
Yeah.
They understand that this is a SWAC East game. They understand that the SWAC East has not been clinched yet.
Correct.
And that we still got to go around the SWAC.
Yes, we do.
And we know we got your segment coming up to go around the SWAC. But these are exciting times. It's going to be an exciting day. Best wishes to Coach Prime out there as he recovers. Our thoughts and prayers with him. But this team is in very capable hands with this coaching staff.
Very capable hands, and we've seen over the past few weeks, we've seen the offense churn yards out. We've seen the defense do what it does. Very capable hands. So looking forward to Coach Flea getting that opportunity today to lead this Jackson State team to victory. Jackson State comes in, and depends on whose poll rankings you look at. A lot of the HBCU polls, you'll see them number 1. The national polls, you'll either see them at number 20 or number 24. But this team is loaded for bear coming into today's game. So.
And speaking of loaded to bear for this game, Chuck, you're loaded for bear for all the games around the SWAC. So it's a good time to hop on that bus and let's ride around with Chuck Bishop as he takes us around the SWAC.
Around the SWAC, it's week 8. Let's start things off in Fayetteville, Arkansas, as it is the UAPB Golden Lions, 1-5 thus far in the season, 0-4 in conference play. They'll be taking on SEC foe, the Arkansas Razorbacks. When we take a look at the Golden Lions, it's been a really tough season thus far. They are trying to bounce back from a resounding defeat last week to the Southern Jaguars as they lost 34-7, where the defense gave up 304 yards on the ground. Quarterback Xavier Vaughn and Skylar Perry, along with Jalen Thigpen on the defensive side of the ball, will lead the Golden Lions up against the SEC's Arkansas Razorbacks, who themselves are on a current 3-game losing streak as they've lost games to Georgia, Ole Miss, and Auburn. This will be an 11 a.m. kickoff, I should say, from Fayetteville, Arkansas, and that game can be seen on the SEC Network. Let's go down to Itta Bena, Mississippi, where the Florida A&M Rattlers, 4-2 thus far in the season, 2-1 in conference play, take on the Delta Devils, who are 2-4 overall, 1-2 in conference play. Tell you what, breakout game from the Rattlers last week as it was Rashawn McKay. He threw for 251 yards, and Bishop Bonnet, he rushed for 187 yards as the Rattlers staged a furious fourth-quarter rally, scoring 19 points in the fourth quarter to knock off the Alabama A&M Bulldogs in Huntsville last week. Isaiah Land, he leads the nation in sacks, 10 sacks thus far, and Marquise Bell, they lead the Rattler defense, who are number 5 in the nation. Let's take a look at the Delta Devils. The Delta Devils, they're trying to bounce back from a tough loss last week to Alcorn Valley's Caleb Johnson. He is the number 4 rusher in the SWAC. He had a huge game last week. He had 22 carries, 123 yards, and defensively, the Delta Devils, they had 4 guys with double-digit tackles. It will be FAMU and Mississippi Valley State. That is a 3 p.m. kickoff from Rice Titan Stadium, and that game can be seen on Mississippi Valley's YouTube channel. Let's head over to Baton Rouge, Louisiana. It is a homecoming kickoff as the Prairie View Panthers, 5-1 on the season, 4-0 in conference play. They head to Baton Rouge to take on the Southern Jaguars, 3-3 overall, 2-1 in conference play. Prairie View Panthers are one of the hottest teams in the SWAC. Last week they got it done on the road at Bethune-Cookman as they knocked off the Bethune-Cookman Wildcats 35-29. Jawan Pass, he got it done passing 290 yards, connected with 8 different receivers. But the story of the season thus far has been Prairie View's defense, led by Trishad Smith, Drake Cheatham, and Jason Dumas. They are the number 10 team in the nation in total defense, surrendering only 277 yards per game. Southern, they had a huge bounce-back victory last week over UAPB, and it was Kobe Dillon getting it done on the ground, garnering SWAC Offensive Player of the Week honors as he had huge 267 yards on the ground last week against UAPB. Southern's bruising run game is number 6 in the nation in total rushing. 236 yards per game, Southern getting it done on the ground. That will be a 6 p.m. homecoming kick from A.W. Mumford Stadium in Baton Rouge, Louisiana, and that game can be seen on ESPN+. Let's head over to Houston. The Alcorn State Braves, 4-2 on the season, 3-0 in SWAC play. They take on the Texas Southern Tigers, who are 2-4 on the season, 1-2 in SWAC play. Alcorn, again, coming off of that huge win over Mississippi Valley State as they knocked off the Delta Devils 24-12 last week, and they were led by Nico Duffy. Strong game on the ground, 138 yards. The Braves defense, they snuffed out Valley's offense, only 212 yards of total offense for the Delta Devils. Braves getting it done on the defensive side of the ball, holding them to only 3 of 14 on third down conversions. When we take a look at Texas Southern, they're trying to bounce back from a loss last week to the Grambling State Tigers, as it was Andrew Body getting it done for the Texas Southern Tigers. He led them offensively with 227 yards of total offense, 172 through the air, and 55 on the ground. That'll be a 7 p.m. kickoff from BBVA Stadium in Houston, Texas, and that game can be seen on AT&T Sportsnet. And of course, we finish off with our Jackson State Tigers as the Bethune-Cookman Wildcats, 0-7 on the season, 0-4 in conference play, taking on our Jackson State Tigers, who are 5-1 on the season, 3-0 in conference play. You know, although Bethune-Cookman, they haven't gotten it done in the win column yet, they do bring playmakers into Jackson. We start with the running back, Quayshawn Bird. He's one of the top running backs in the SWAC. He rushed for 176 yards last week on 24 carries against Prairie View. They also have big 6'6" receiver Kamari Everett. He leads the SWAC in receiving yards. Thus far in the season, he has 657 yards and 6 touchdowns. Defensively, the Wildcats are led by Clarksdale, Mississippi native Ontario Johnson, who is second in the SWAC and with 62 total tackles thus far in the season. Right behind him is his linebacker mate, Kevin Thomas, who's third in the conference. He has 52 stops thus far on the season. Jackson State, of course, coming back from a huge homecoming win over Alabama State in front of 53,000 faithful. You take a look at it last week, they were paced by quarterback 1, Shedeur Sanders. He is number 4 in the nation. He's completing 69% of his passes. We also take a look at wide receiver Keith Corbin. 7 catches last week for 113 yards. Good for SWAC newcomer of the week. And of course, Jackson State getting it done on the ground, as it was Santee Marshall with 96 yards of rushing. And what can you say about the Dark Side defense? They are getting it done. Of course, they are number 2 in the nation in total team defense. They are number 1 in the nation with 28 sacks. And you know the names by now. They are led by linebackers James Houston, Aubrey Miller, and of course, Big Cornish Miller, he's pushing the pocket up the middle. This will be a 1 p.m. kickoff from Mississippi Veterans Memorial Stadium, home game for the Jackson State Tigers. Hey, in closing, as always, we say go support your home team, either by fannies in the seats or watching them on the various streaming networks. And until next week, this has been Around the SWAC on the pregame show.
Yeah.
And welcome back here to the pregame show. Charles Bishop and Neela here on the Black Collar Sports Network. Tell you what, man, great action today. As we mentioned, around the SWAC, all eyes here in Jackson, Mississippi. Bethune-Cookman 0-7, Jackson State 5-1. But as mentioned, they have playmakers. They have a young man by the name of Quayshawn Bird. He is one of the top running backs in this conference. Last week, he rushed for 176 yards against.
Hey man, if your name got Quay in it or Sean in it, you can play ball. Like
you're a ball player.
Yeah, you're a ball, man, you know.
Yeah. 176 yards last week against Prairie View. 6'6" receiver Kamari Everett. He leads the SWAC in receiving yards, 657 yards thus far on the season, 6 touchdowns. And then they have a young man from Clarksdale, Mississippi, Ontario Johnson. He flies around all over the place. Linebacker, nice linebacker tandem they have, and Takiva Thomas and Ontario Johnson. They are 2nd and 3rd, respectively, in the SWAC in tackles.
It's going to be an exciting day, Chuck, this Bethune-Cookman matchup. You know, I know, again, and you heard Coach Flea say it earlier, we've said it earlier, don't focus on this team's record. Mm-hmm. This is a talented 0-7 team. This is a team with a dominant run game. This is a team that has put up points this season. They're scoring on people. They're stopping people from scoring. They just happen to be 0-4 in the SWAC.
That's true.
I'm going to throw out those non-conference games, just focus on the SWAC. They just happen to be 0-4 in the SWAC, but they have not just been getting blown out and beaten down by folks. They've been in games. And if you look at this team and just the culture of it, you know, their rival is FAMU. Their interstate rival is FAMU. And there have been years upon years where Bethune-Cookman is down and FAMU is riding high. And for that last game of the season, they find a way to win.
They find a way to get it. They find a way to get it.
Well, there's no bigger target in the SWAC than what's on the back of Jackson State Tigers right now.
You better believe
it. We're the big hog at the trough. Everybody wants a piece of this meat. So these guys are going to be up for this game.
Very much so.
Spent some breakfast time with Junior Miller, Cornish Miller, and he said it best, like, you can't sleep on somebody that's got nothing to lose. These guys are coming here and they want to take out the big dog, and that's who we are. So it's going to be an exciting game. It's going to be a game that I believe the Tigers of Jackson State are going to be victorious in, but we can't look at a team's record.
Yeah.
You got to look at the energy. I was just outside. That's why my shades are on, but just outside, the Tigers have arrived. They're coming in. They're bouncing around. Bethune-Cookman has arrived. They're here. So they're going to be out in the field in a little while and going through those mechanics as we get ready for this 1 p.m. kickoff, and it's still not too late to get here. Tickets are available. Chuck, I just looked at myself. And speaking of Chuck, you know who I look like, man?
Who you look like?
I look like Chuck from Emmett Otter's Jug Band Christmas, man.
I was waiting.
Chuck's hungry.
It was coming somewhere.
Chuck don't want to go to no dumb music store.
Emmett Otter's Jughead, man, you brought back some memories on that. When we take a look at this Bethune-Cookman team, they can be explosive. They have scored 28 points in the fourth quarter against South Carolina State. Like I said, they're a bit of a
28 points in a single quarter. And Coach Prime is always on us about finishing, about winning each quarter.
Win each quarter. Exactly.
Even when we blew out Alabama A&M, we lost the fourth quarter.
Yeah.
And this is a team, Chuck, that is capable of putting up points. Can't sleep on them. Can't sleep on
them. Two-headed monster quarterback Shannon Patrick and Devin Black. One is a bit of a passer, more of a passer, more of an athletic quarterback, more of a runner. So we have to keep tabs on both of them. And we had an opportunity. We sat down and talked with Harrell Ford, the Bethune-Cookman's play-by-play man. And
I thought you were talking about Harrell Ford, the funeral home family out of Memphis.
I know, right?
The politicians. Like, man, you talked to Harrell Ford? Man, tell him I said, what's up? That's my guy.
Yes, indeed. We talked to Harrell Ford, man. He is the play-by-play man for the Bethune-Cookman Wildcats, and he gave us even more of an overview on the Bethune-Cookman Wildcats.
It is Charles Bishop, and of course, we take a look at our opponent this upcoming week, and we have none other than Harrell Ford, who is the play-by-play broadcaster for the Bethune-Cookman Wildcats. He is on the Cat Eye Network. Tremendous stuff you guys do over there on the broadcasting platform with Bethune-Cookman. Welcome into the pregame show.
I'm good to be here, man. Good to see you, and glad to be a part of this broadcast.
Yes, indeed. Well, first of all, let me start off, Harrell. let me say this. There's no way that this Bethune-Cookman is an 0-17. When I take a look at this team, you talk about talent both on the offensive side of the ball and the defensive side of the ball. Just kind of talk a little bit about what exactly has happened this past season with regards to the Wildcats.
Well, first of all, I think that people have to realize that we lost a lot when we took the year off. We took a whole year off. We did not play any sports in any capacity. We came back in the spring. Coach Sims put together his football team. A lot of transfers went out. As you know, when you don't get to play, you go somewhere else. But we went back to the transfer portal, got players in, and we put together a football team. We didn't know what to expect. And what's happening right now is not what we would like to see. But our attitude is still great. We called Coach Sims this morning. The team is still very, very upbeat. You know, they're looking to get a win somehow, some way. So we're just going to keep fighting until we get something. Somewhere it's going to break.
You know, when I take a look at this Bethune-Cookman team, one of the people that really jumps out is Quayshawn Bird. Talk a little bit about what his play has been thus far for the Wildcats.
Quayshawn is a mighty mouse. He will run over you. He is not afraid of anything. He takes challenges. He practices the same way. In practice, he's always upbeat. He's practicing harder than the next man. And he is one of the most consistent players on our football team, and he's a go-getter.
No doubt about it. When I take a look continue taking a look at the offensive side of the ball, another standout performer is Kamari Everett. He's number 2 in the SWAC in receiving. He's a matchup issue.
He's a beast. That's all I can tell you. Even in practice, he's a man among boys. That's how real he is. He can play any position. We were talking this morning. Coach Sims says he's even asked to play a defensive end. Kamari, his attitude is great. He's a transfer from Louisville, and he is a simply marvelous player. He's one of the few that I can tell you might play on Sunday because he's a big tight end. He can catch anything that you throw to him. And he is just a great player for our team. And a lot of times people think that Kamari has an attitude because he's always helping his teammates. He's always inspiring them to don't give up. And that's the kind of player he is. And Kamari Everett is the player you want on your team.
Speaking of the people who will get him the ball, Shannon Patrick started off as a quarterback. You guys have integrated Devin Black during the course of the season. Are Bethune-Cookman going with the 2-quarterback system the rest of the way here, or what will we be looking at?
If I divulge it, Coach Sims would have my neck. But I can say this: you will see Devin Black, you will see Shannon Patrick. I just don't know at what time you will see them, but you will see them. Devin gives us more options. When I look at our team, Devin Black is certainly the one that has the legs. If he's in the game, you've got to watch for him to run, and he will pass the ball. With Shannon, he's going to pass the ball. Shannon has the better arm, but I cannot divulge, as Coach Sims says, don't say that much. So
don't say that much, exactly.
I can't tell you that much, but you will see both of them.
No doubt about it. When we take a look at the defensive side of the ball, a young man from Clarksdale, Mississippi, Ontario Johnson, I mean, he goes from sideline to sideline. He has been a tremendous bright spot on that defensive side of the ball for the Wildcats.
Number 12 is always on his job. Number 12, you can depend on. He's a leader of the team. He's the leader of the defense. That is his defense. He calls the defensive plays. He is a true leader. The defense follows. How Ontario goes is how we go. And I'll say this about our defense. We have a bunch of other defensive stars on this team. We've made some mistakes this year. We've had some blown coverages, and we've had a bunch of things happen with that defense. But Ontario is our leader on defense. You can count on number 12.
You can count on number 12. You also have another standout performer, Takevin Thomas. He has been another individual who has showed up in terms of tackles and things of that nature for a while.
Yeah, he has showed up every game, and you can count on him. He's the one that's always that you don't hear his name a lot, but he's a great football player, and they as a team they play together. Our defense, we don't have those 5, 6 superstars on defense, but the 2 or 3 that we have and the unit itself plays together. So we look to play together coming into Jackson State. We know it's going to be tough. We know it.
Undoubtedly, and Jackson State knows it's going to be a tough game as well, because normally when a team is, has their back up against the wall, they come out fighting. Of course, we know very well Coach Terry Sims. He is a tremendous coach, tremendous success over there in the MEAC, but just a hard-nosed football coach.
I cannot tell you how much of a hard-nosed football coach he is, but Coach Sims cares about his student athletes. The one thing he will talk about is student athletes all the time, because they're student athletes first. And he always wants his student athletes to get their education. Football is the second part of it. And he's always coaching them up. He's loud. He's not afraid to tell them how he really feels. And the whole team, he never loses his players. In the 7 years I have been here, he's never lost the locker room. They all respect him. Players come back because they like Coach Sims.
Aaron, when I take a look at the game last week against Prairie View, that could have been a breakthrough game, but it was a couple of weird bounces in that game. Just kind of talk a little bit about the game last week against Prairie View.
You called it just right. Weird bounces, especially the helmet interception.
The helmet interception, yeah.
The Coach Sims says, he said when we were talking this morning, he says he had to look at the play. It said it hit our guy's helmet, bounced off and fell. The defensive player for Prairie View didn't even know he had the ball. And the coach for Prairie View told him after the game, he says, you just had to see it, because it happened on their side of the field. He says, you just had to see it to believe it. He says they didn't even believe it. That was one of the miscues that we have. And another thing that our team, and it especially, is we've had a bunch of mishaps this year, and we got to do better. And we face up to that. We got to do better.
Well, that leads actually into my next question. When we take a look at the keys to the game for Bethune-Cookman to try to get the win, what are 3 things that you think Bethune-Cookman needs to do to get this win over Jackson State?
Cut down on penalties, number 1. That's the first thing. We can't come into Jackson State and have 115 yards worth of penalties. That will not make it. We'll get blown out really fast. The second thing is we must match the intensity early. We must match the intensity of Jackson State early. Jackson State is big and fast. The offensive line is a beast. I tell people all the time, the offensive line is just humongous, and they block and they make huge holes, NFL type holes. The third thing is that we cannot lose our composure. We must stay composed in the game. Even if we get down, we still must hold the line and play the game for 4 quarters. If we can hang in there for 4 quarters, we might have a good chance.
And you mentioned 4 quarters, because one of the things that jumps out for me is Bethune-Cookman in the 4th quarter is about the most scary team in the country, because it seems as though the offense just comes alive in the 4th quarter. 28 points in one game this past season in the 4th quarter. South Carolina State, exactly.
South Carolina State. That was a game where we scored a touchdown in the 1st quarter. We didn't score again. South Carolina State had really taken us to the line, and all of a sudden, out of anywhere, we scored 28 straight points. And we've scored points in the 4th quarter in other games, but we haven't held the line. The problem is, as you know, you got to finish the game. You've got to finish the game, and that's been our biggest stronghold. We have not finished, and that's as Coach Sims always says, moral victories are good, but close only counts in horseshoes, and that's it.
That is a great way to end it. I tell you what, Harold, really appreciate you stopping by the pregame show and giving us an overview of this tough Bethune-Cookman Wildcat football team.
I appreciate you having me, man. Thank you.
Yes, indeed.
That was Harrell Ford. He is the play-by-play voice of the Bethune-Cookman Wildcats. And, of course, he gave us a tremendous overview of this Bethune-Cookman Wildcat team. They have playmakers all around, as we mentioned. Quayshawn Bird, he is one of the tougher running backs in the conference. They call him Mighty Mike. But I tell you what, 24 carries, 176 yards last week against Prairie View. Big 6'6" tight end, Kamari Everett. He leads the SWAC in receiving yards, 657 yards thus far in the season and 6 touchdowns. And then they have a Mississippi native, Ontario Johnson, Clarksdale, Mississippi native. He is second in the SWAC in tackles with 62 tackles. And Takevin Thomas, third in the conference with 52 stops. And there's even a Jackson State tie-in with this Bethune-Cookman Wildcat staff. Of course, we're talking about Darren Hayes. Of course, Darren Hayes, he is the defensive pass game coordinator and safeties coach for Bethune-Cookman. But a lot of us remember him during his time here at Jackson State with some of the better defenses in the conference around that time. You take a look from 2007 through 2013, Jackson State always had one of the top defenses in the SWAC, and then he coached quite a few All-American performers. A lot of us remember all three SWAC Defensive Player of the Award winners under his tutelage: Quay Cox, Joseph LeBeau, Marcellus Speaks, and of course a bunch of All-Americans during that time: Donovan Robinson, Kerry Hoskins, Anthony Johnson, and you had some guys that got some pro contracts. Marcus Bernard, he went with the Cleveland Browns. Quay Cox, Indianapolis Colts. Of course, Dominique Johnson got an opportunity with the New York Giants. Jaleel Johnson, Carolina Panthers. So, some great names from yesteryear with Jackson State, including Marcel Young, who got a little bit of a stint there with the New Orleans Saints. So you take a look at this Bethune-Cookman team. Again, they are going to be a tough foe today. As we take a look at what we'll be taking a look at today with regards to Bethune-Cookman, it's going to be a tough matchup. But when we take a look, looks like I got my partner coming back in. Neely, can you hear me over there, buddy?
I think I can hear you, Chuck, because what I've elected to do, sometimes you should just leave well enough damn alone. What I should do was, it was working where I was, right?
Yes.
I said, you know what? I bet I could take it to the J-Set ramp. And then I went to the J-Set ramp and lost the signal. But then guess what happened, Chuck?
What happened?
You're going to get something from the pregame show that you don't typically get, because I was able to log in from my phone. And that's Bethune-Cookman. I got to walk through them.
A little pregame warm-ups action, huh?
Yeah, media center. So
yes, indeed.
I'm on their sideline, but I'm about to head back towards you. Referees are here, officials are here.
Keep your head on a swivel.
Balls flying around here. So the Tigers will be coming out shortly. Some of Bethune-Cookman's players are out warming up. Chuck, give me feedback. I don't know if the signal is going through.
Yeah, no, you look great, man. You look great. That was a great shot, giving our fans that inside access look. Pre-game warm-ups here on the pregame show. What could be better?
Yeah. Got Dana Beers over here bouncing around. Got QB1 going through his mechanics, getting loose. So, yeah, it worked out.
Yeah, I see QB1 going through his extensive pregame mechanic. There he is, Shador Sanders.
Getting focused.
He is number 4 in the country, Neely. He has completed 69.6% of his passes.
69.6% of his passes, and it starts with these pregame warm-ups, Chuck. Getting loose out here, getting focused, getting dialed in. The pregame show. Outstanding access. Chuck, I know you didn't see it because you were doing the show when I was in the locker room.
Mm-hmm.
Check out today's helmets, though.
Whoa, there's a little different look. There is a little different look today. You're getting some exclusive access there. We're taking a look at the Jackson State helmets today. There's a different look. I tell you what, look good, feel good, play good.
Speaking of different looks, Chuck, what about that mullet?
How about that? How about the John Kruk mullet? The old Crucky mullet.
Out here getting warmed up. Say hello to the pregame show. It's live.
Hey, Mom. How's it going? I know she's watching.
She was watching. Man, you got a nice haircut this week, man. Look at y'all. Y'all boys are cleaned up. So Chuck, we're out here on the field with the Tigers. Stewart's got the band out now getting stretched.
Yes, Shador going through those extensive pregame warm-ups.
Season 2. So this is not Dana Beers' pregame show. This is first time on the pregame show live.
You want to see me catch a punt?
Going to catch a punt live on the pregame show.
Dana Beers
is going to catch a punt. Here it comes. Here it comes. Dana Beers did not field the punt.
A did not field the punt. Fair catch.
He didn't want to take out Bethune-Cookman. He was showing some pregame sportsmanship. Again, Chuck, we're out here on the field. QB1 is getting warmed up, getting loose. Trevante Rucker is bouncing around. Going to be some black tones in the uniforms today with some pink accents.
Nice. Breast cancer awareness. Yes, indeed.
Yeah, so got the ribbon out on the field, Chuck.
Good look. Stadium staff has done a tremendous job getting this stadium and field ready today. Breast cancer awareness, Pink Friday, Steve James, and the good people over there doing tremendous work in terms of raising money for breast cancer awareness. Neely?
And that quarterback better not get outside the pocket. Do we ever? Yeah. Do we ever? Real shit though. Do we ever? Come on, be real, dude.
That's good stuff, man. Guys coming out for pregame warm-up.
Yes, sir. I got you. Yep. Hey, you live on this one. I told you we were getting you on the pregame show live. Deion Sanders Jr., a.k.a. Big Deion is what I call him.
Big Deion, what's going on, buddy?
We out here. We're going to turn up today.
Yeah, we're going to turn up. So, Chuck, the field is popping.
Yes, indeed.
Crowd is starting to come in. It's not too late to get here. Let me do my little flip here, Chuck, if I can.
There you go.
I'm down by the Tiger's Mouth.
Yes, indeed, man. That's good stuff. Well, I tell you what, man, like you said, the field is popping down there. Guys are coming out for pregame warm-ups. Field is looking nice. We got Chad Ford popping in here. He's going to give us a little bit of insight in terms of today's game. But I tell you what, man, it's looking good, man. It is definitely game day. I love it.
Yeah, Nugget just bounced by. Let me give a flip around. Get y'all some nug time.
Yeah, you got to have a little nugget out of time.
He started running. I can't catch him. I had to wait on some nugget time. I ain't got that in me.
Well, you're not going to run the 40 and chase Nugget down, man?
No. It'd be quicker for me to wait on him to come back my way than for me to run after him.
Yes, indeed, guys.
I won't run nowhere else if I run after him.
Oh boy. Good stuff, Daly. Good stuff, man. Hey, when you're walking down there, man.
Zay Bolton is out. Big play, Zay.
Big play, Zay. He is one of the top kick returners in the SWAC. He is averaging close to 30 yards per kickoff.
Niles Gaddy getting loose.
Niles Gaddy. Yes, indeed.
And always love to bring on the pregame show live. I mean,
Lotto.
When y'all see those videos on Go JSU Tigers, Instagram, social media, this is the man and his team. Man, the footage y'all do, the way y'all compile it, brother, outstanding work.
Appreciate you, my brother, man. Thank y'all for all y'all do, man. We're just trying to continue on the excellence around here. Everybody got to be on 100%, man. Go Tigers, man.
Go Tigers.
Let's do this thing, baby.
Yeah, we got you. We see you on the sideline, baby. So we are focused out here, Chuck dialed in.
Mm-hmm.
Players getting loose, going through their mechanics. Coach CJ, who gets them loose, is getting loose himself. He's working out. I might be
Coach CJ. I was about to say.
I want him to chase Nuggets.
Run to the numbers, man.
That was a non-starter. A non-starter.
That's good stuff. Good stuff, bro.
Captain Petty going through his motions.
Anthony Petty from Wiggins, Mississippi. Shout out to Stone County.
So DB is just working on some little catching, breaking on the ball. CJ Holmes coming by there. Stillman coming by.
CJ Holmes had a nice break on the ball last week in that Alabama State game. We talked to him straight out the Tigers mouth.
Yeah, 619 in the building. So, yeah, just a little bouncing around out here, Chuck, getting loose, getting ready. We are 87 minutes from kickoff. Pregame show is going live until noon, shutting down that last hour so we can get ready to bring y'all straight from the Tigers mouth. Out here on the field now, Chuck, with the players. Chuck is in the media center.
Mm-hmm.
Come back over by QB1, who's going through his mechanics as Big Bro looks on. Deion Sanders Jr. taking a sip of the water.
Nice stuff.
So here's a first on the pregame show live. Live is Deion Sanders Jr. showing QB1 live on his phone. See, look at that angle, show. You don't get that everywhere.
You don't get that everywhere. There you go. Good stuff, man.
But QB1 has been in good spirits this week, man. It's been really focused. Wants to spread around. People think he has a favorite receiver, but he's going to hit the guy that's open every time.
Yeah.
So he's working out with Javante Rucker right now. That's Keith Corbin with him, a la Brown over there. Warren Newman.
You got Keith Corbin out there. Keith Corbin, he was SWAC newcomer of the week this past week. 7 catches, 113 yards.
Well, all I got the sun, our guns out now. Keith Corbin is up next, catching from QB1. So I trust their relationship so much I can stand right behind him. There's no way Keith Corbin ain't catching that ball. It's not going to hit the chest.
Correct. 7 catches last week, 113 yards, and SWAC newcomer of the week was Keith Corbin.
Yeah. Stephen Core getting together, man. Just, getting loose. Warren Newman, a la Brown.
I see a la Brown there. Yes, indeed. Javante Rucker.
Everybody getting loose. They're about to go get some workout over there. Stephen's about to head off. D-line is on the other side of the end zone there with Coach O.
Speaking of that D-line.
I guess I should grab Coach O, huh?
Oh, well, that might help just a little bit there. Get Coach O out there and get his thoughts on today's game.
Yeah, we'll see.
You say he was over.
Chuck, Coach O was with us.
I see Coach O.
He may be here. Go right ahead.
Yeah, Coach O, give us your thoughts on today's game. Bethune-Cookman 0-7, but still a scary team nonetheless.
It's definitely a scary team. No, when you got a team that's 0-7, they have nothing to lose, and we understand it as a ball club. Our guys have been focused all week. We got a lot to play for today. Our guys not here, and we're gonna carry his that pride that he instilled in us, that discipline that he instilled in us, that focus that he instilled in us. We're gonna carry that on for Coach. So regardless, 0-7, 7-0, we coming out here to play today.
Coach, talk to us about, and our fans out there watching live, about the energy this week, knowing that Coach Prime was going to be out, how the players responded and dialed it up.
Yeah, I think initially it was some nervous energy. You always, when something's wrong with Pop, it kind of concerns you. And I think as the week went on, guys knew that Coach was going to be fine. We just had to come out here and handle our business. And the message has been about consistency. If we're going to be a championship ball club, we got to be consistent in our approach, consistent in the development of our guys throughout the week. And then the guys got to be consistent in their approach to getting ready for the game. And then once you get to the stadium on Saturday, be consistent in how you attack the opposing team. So that's where we are right now.
Coach, we're going to let you get back to it. Always a pleasure to have you stop by the pregame show live on game day. I'm loving this black with these pink accents. Y'all get to the vet. It's not too late to get here. 83 minutes and 33, 32, 31 seconds to kickoff. Y'all get here. Tickets available. Let's pack out the vet. Let's do it for the squad. Let's do it for Coach Prime. Coach O, God bless you, brother. Appreciate it. Go Tigers.
Go Tigers.
That's good stuff, man. Good stuff. We got Coach Otis really coming in and giving us, as usual, a great overview of our Jackson State Tigers going into this tough matchup today with Bethune-Cookman.
Yeah, got some Tigers who started to arrive, man. Defensive line is over here on their side of the field.
I see, speaking of defensive line, I see Chad Ford has popped up on the screen, Neely.
Yeah, bring him on in, man. We'll have a conversation. You and Chad can go, and I'll give y'all live footage from the sideline.
No doubt about it. Chad Ford, man, welcome into the pregame show.
And I appreciate it, Brother Bishop. It's always an honor and privilege and pleasure to be amongst great men.
Yes, indeed, man. You were part of some SWAC championship defensive lines. This defense that we're taking a look at today, they lead the nation in sacks. They come in with 28 sacks thus far on the season. You and I talked a little bit about it with regards to this defense. They are waking up echoes of the dark side defense from yesteryear.
I agree with you. And let me say, they're speaking very loudly. They're speaking very loudly, and we're paying attention. I'm very thrilled. The organization, how they move to the ball, the communication, the camaraderie, and they're making the plays they're supposed to make when they're supposed to make them is evident. We're the number one defense in the nation. It reminds me of 95 and 96, but yet and still, we have some work that needs to be done. And I know Coach Prime will be sure that work is done.
Yes, indeed. And being part of championship teams, what is that common thread, if you will, Chad, in terms of you mentioned guys running to the ball, guys playing for each other.
Hey,
what is sort of that common thread that you normally see?
Chuck,
yeah, go ahead,
Chad. Before you answer that, I just wanted to let y'all know what's on our screen. This is James Houston, big game James, as I call him, aka Houston. We have a problem over here getting loose on the bike. So while you and Chad continue the conversation about the D-line and dark side defense, we're gonna also have this rolling on James Houston over here, who's leading sacks and pressure to the quarterback. Y'all go right ahead.
Yeah, James Houston, 8.5 sacks thus far on the season, but there's a common thread. I was talking about a common thread in terms of a championship team that's forming. Chad, talk a little bit about that.
It boils down to three things, and I say this in the spring. It's about accountability, responsibility, and consistency. And consistency is key. You know, you got a staff that's in place, the system's in place, the kids are buying into that system. You know, just like Coach O talked about, every week is a test, every week is a championship game. That's the mentality you need to have. Every week, no matter who it is. I remember Big Dad's always tell us, Bethune-Cookman, unfortunately, hey, somebody got to lose. They have a losing record. Big Dad's always tell us, you want to be on ESPN, lose to a losing team. So the common thread is keep the mentality, accountability, responsibility, and consistency. You do those things, that makes it puts everything together to get us a championship.
No doubt about it. You know, Chad, when you take a look at this team, and I mentioned they are number one in the nation in terms of getting to the quarterback, 28 sacks thus far on the season.
Right.
But we talk week in, week out with Coach Hart, Coach Weeks, defensive coaches. Focus one is stop the run and make teams one-dimensional. You know, you guys as a defense did a great job of doing that. What sort of energy, you know, what sort of jolt does that give the defense to know that you can go out and just go dominate a team by stopping the run and making them one-dimensional?
And Chuck and Chad, before Chad's answer that, let me interrupt again because we had another player come over to the sideline and get loose. This is Niles Gaddy on the camera on the screen as y'all talk. So he's getting loose, getting folks and dialed in. Go right ahead, Chad.
Niles Gaddy, he has
Niles just said this game day, Chuck, where you at? Chuck is in the media center.
I see you, Niles. I see you, buddy. That's good stuff. Good stuff, Neely.
He said he just had to make sure you was here.
Yeah, man. I will be seeing Niles on the sideline. He provides that pressure on the opposite side of James Houston. They really you got two of the most dominant defensive players, not just in the SWAC or HBCUs, but in the nation. And now James Houston here getting focused, getting dialed in, staying loose and limber. We're 78 minutes from kickoff. Pardon the interruption. Y'all continue to finish the conversation, man. Y'all go right ahead. No, go for it. I mean, Chad, when we take a look at this defensive line in terms of how they get to the quarterback, what sort of jolt, what sort of energy does that do for a defense when you are able to go out and make a team one-dimensional?
It gives tremendous energy. And what that also does is it gives us the mentality and mindset. Let's go ahead and dominate. Let's go ahead and put this team to bed. On the back end, they're saying, hey, we can be loose, we can hang, we can probably take some chances we normally wouldn't take outside of a team who's very disciplined and who runs a very efficient offensive scheme. So up front, we take pride in knowing that it starts with us. We have to make them one-dimensional. We do that. We take them outside of what they like to do, and then we make them do some other things that they're not sure about doing.
Yes, indeed. Hey, Chad, man, it's always tremendous when you come in here on the pregame show and give us insight. You were part of some championship teams there in the mid-90s.
Go for it, Neil.
Yeah, go for it.
Chuck, I gotta ask y'all what y'all think about these black unis today.
Hey, man, it's different, man. You know, it's different. It's different. I just need somebody to have a black shield on for me one time. I just need to see a black shield. I need somebody to wear a shield for me.
Yes, indeed, man. Chad Ford of the dark side defense of yesteryear, the mid-90s, 95, 96, Black College national champions during your time there at Jackson State. Thank you for coming in on the pregame show and giving us great insight, buddy.
Man, thank you as always. Thank you.
Yeah, yes, indeed. Well, you know what? Neely and I, we do a tremendous job, I think, in doing this segment called Straight from the Tiger's Mouth, where we get an opportunity to talk real time to players as they're coming off the field, good or bad play. But let's take a look at some straight from the Tiger's Mouth from last week.
A good show today. Good show today. You shouldn't miss this. It's gonna be a great show today. Hey, I'll save my other words for the end of the game. We can't do that. We can't on the series. We can't on the series. Be disciplined, fellas, please.
These boys can't do nothing with us, man. These boys can't do nothing with us, man.
Good. Somebody beat it up. Hit it from depth is going to keep it. Yeah. Don't show up that when they know that.
This return for Newman to the 41-yard line. Tigers of Jackson.
I saw you hit it, got skinny. Yeah. Real. Right in there. That was good. That was real good. Keep going. Come on, let's keep going. Come on. Hey. You guys are playing fast. Don't let up. Keep going.
Steve Corbin with the reception from center.
Taking a second for the offense to get going. What's it looking like?
Coach, you gotta start fast, man. We lost these 2 series. Like Coach said, you gotta win every series. So they can't go out. We don't lose no more series. Look at him. Down. I'm telling you.
Thank you, Marshall. Ball carrier.
That was straight from the Tiger's mouth. Of course, we do brought to you by BioSteel. Neely and I talking to the players as they come off the field real time. Roy, if you let Neely in back into the interview, if you will. But we take a look at that tremendous outing last week against Jackson State against Alabama State, 28-7 victory, and 53,000 in the stands last week. It was just a festive atmosphere, and it reminded a lot of Jackson State alums of the 80s and the 90s, and it was great, Neely. This new generation of Tiger fan got an opportunity to see the Tiger fan base en masse.
Teddy, tell me about that run, babe.
Hey, I seen a big hole, and I just hit it, and I scored. Give it up to the man up front, to all my old linemen and my receivers for blocking. And that just made a great play.
Good job. Go Tiger.
Go Tigers. Appreciate it.
Now, you did a great job coming back for the ball. About that play.
Shoot, my quarterback and O-line put me in a good position, and I just executed like how we've been practicing to. That's all. It's simple. Hopefully we do more of it.
Coming back out of halftime, what did Coach say to get you guys fired up?
He said we got to pick it up. We're moving a little sluggish like we could have had, something that he can't coach. Everything goes coach, but effort he can't coach, so he wanted us to come out there and, you feel me, ball like how we've been talked to.
Sure thing. Go Tigers.
Thank you. Go Tigers.
CJ, you jumped that route. Talk a little bit about what you saw.
Third and short, number 3. I know it's like quick game when we sitting pressure, so I got to stay my leverage inside, and fortunately I was able to get a jump on the ball.
Good job. Go Tigers.
Nuggets starting to get loose and fly around out there, defense picking up the intensity.
Yeah, all it took was some time for me to get used to the game. I'm back, man. I'm back and I'm better. That's all I gotta tell you, man. I'm back and I'm better. We good now.
See ball?
Get ball. Knock it out.
Hey, step, baby, one step away.
Oh my God, I just tripped myself, man. Hey, I can't do nothing but go back in there and make a better play than that song.
Hey, we spawned out of halftime. Like, brought it.
Oh my God, I was running, what?
You guys seem to turn up the intensity on that last drive. Talk a little bit about it.
I mean, we just knew that we came out in the first quarter flat, came out in the first half flat. All we got to do is bring our own intensity. We're our own competition. So we're defeating ourselves and we don't come out with the energy. That's all we got to do. Stick to our keys, do what I told us to do, come out here with the energy and execute it. That's it. That's all we're doing, man. We're just bringing the energy and executing it now.
Good job. Go Tigers.
Go Tigers, I believe.
Yeah, you guys really turned up the intensity on that last drive. Talk a little bit about what you guys were able to do successfully.
We came out from halftime. We were talking to the guys, make sure we came out with intensity because first half we playing flag. You know, we gave them a couple plays. It should be 0 right now, 14-0. But I told the guys, me and Arthur, we told them guys, like, hey, we finna pick this up. We finna thrash this team. We finna dominate them.
No doubt. Go Tigers.
Go Tigers. I believe, baby.
Big hit.
And that's what we do, man. We fly around and make plays in the secondary. We was not so that first half. We came out second half. We gonna handle business. We gonna stay on their neck the whole game. They gonna see us all season. Everybody in the SWAC gonna see us. Straight up.
So yeah, that's straight from the Tigers' mouth, man. Coach Prime has given us, you know, just unparalleled access to the team meetings, sure, locker room. Chuck, it's been times that there have been player-only meetings and the coaches had to leave and they let us stay.
Yeah.
So when you talk about embedded in the program, and one of the things we do with that being embedded is straight from the Tigers' mouth, brought to you by
BioSteel.
Brought to you by BioSteel. So we're going to be doing more of that today for this Bethune-Cookman game. We'll be on the sidelines and have the cameras and the mics going and getting you reaction from the good, the bad, to the ugly from the Tigers, because that's what Coach Prime wants. And I can tell you this, Chuck, that from a growth standpoint in media awareness and presence and name, image, and likeness, you can really see the growth from week one practice in Miami, not practice for this, but, you know, the practice itself. Week one Miami, straight from the Tigers' mouth to now, these young guys, these growing and budding professional young men have really gotten their media skills up, and up.
Very much so.
It's just some impressive stuff. And so it's not just designed to take you guys inside the game. It's designed to get these young guys to be able to think on their feet and to be able to stand tall when everything is going your way, and to stand tall when things aren't going your way, to be prepared to talk and speak on it. And they've been doing an exceptional job.
Exceptional job. That's a great point you made, because like you said, from week one to now, you can see the growth in terms of the cameras, the microphones being around, pregame show being around. These guys, they look and see us, and like Niles is asking for me over there. I'll be out there now, so looking forward to it. You had great pictures of today's helmet, a new helmet, if you will, the Black Ops unis that look phenomenal out there. You had great pictures of Niles Gaddy, James Houston warming up, getting ready. This Jackson State defense, Neely, they come in number 2 in the nation, number 1 in the nation when you take a look at the number of sacks, 28 sacks thus far. James Houston, he is second in SWAC, 8.5 sacks. Aubrey Miller has 5 sacks on the season. Niles Gaddy rounds out the top 10 with 3.5 sacks.
Yeah, and they were together on the sideline. James loves riding that stationary bike, getting his playlist in his head, going through mechanics, taking those mental reps. You know, we first spent some time with him on that bike at Tennessee State game up in Memphis, and just asked him what's going through your mind. And he went on to have a big game then. So when he's on that bike and getting loose pregame, man, you can expect some mojo to be coming with him. And it's pick your poison. Because if you run the opposite side, Niles Gaddy is there. You come in the middle, Junior is there. So it's a lot of things working for this defensive front, this defensive line, and those linebackers can bring in the secondary.
Those linebackers.
And one thing I'll say, man, about our secondary, a lot of people try to judge a secondary based on the number of interceptions versus their coverage. You know, and yes, these are ball hawks, and yes, we would love to produce a turnover, and we'd even like a house call.
Sure.
but they're not giving up big plays. They're not letting that backside get open and getting beat deep. Sometimes there's, a little slip in the mechanics. I mean, we are dealing with student athletes, and so mistakes happen, but they bend, they don't break. They're doing their job, and then they're aided by the linebackers in front of them and the defensive line in front of them. So this reminds me of that Tampa Bay defense where you had
good analogy.
The Tampa 2 was created, and it was created because you had excellence at each level of the defense. And it doesn't work without that. You got to have a strong D line, you got to have linebackers, you got to have somebody in the secondary, and this defenses from a skill set, we've got talent at each one of those levels.
And like you mentioned, Neely, with this defense, it is a slow creep trying to get downfield. This defense is only yielding 3.6 yards per.
Did you say a slow creep?
Slow creep down.
I thought you said creek. I was like, is this Woody Asaph and the Big Black at Bovina? Like, what is it? Brought to you by Seal Lily? You said creep.
You said Woody Asaph.
I mean, I used to live for Woody Asaph telling
indeed.
me. Hell, I didn't know what a Big Black was, particularly a Big Black at Bovina, but now I know it's going to a Vicksburg. And every time I go to Vicksburg, I go, hey, that's the Big Black at Bovina.
That's the Big Black at Bovina.
And Woody Asaph used to tell me, because I need to know how deep it was today.
For all of
Why
us,
that information was relevant, I don't know.
For all of us growing up in Jackson, you just threw out a name. They went over some heads, but rest in peace, Woody Asaph. He was the weatherman to us growing up. So
yeah, I thought you said creek. You said creep. Yeah, it is. It is hard. Here's a big Chuck word. It is hard to matriculate the ball down the field on this defense.
Matriculate the ball downfield, boys.
Yeah, you cannot. Again, it's a bend, don't break. We give up some plays, but we make adjustments. These guys take it personal. They want a shutout. They don't want to be scored on. They want to, as Coach Prime has admonished them to do, they want to win each quarter.
Yes, indeed.
And that's what this game is going to be predicated on. What would Prime do in his absence? Again, our thoughts and prayers are with our beloved Coach Deion Sanders, Coach Prime, as he recovers and recuperates and heals up from that surgery. But this team is in capable hands with Coach Flea and the rest of the coaching staff. Not a beat was missed at practice this week as far as dialing it up and dialing that intensity. There was even a situation out on the sideline where Coach Mathis asked the player, and I don't know if it picked up while Ron, he said, hey, would you have that on if Coach Prime was here? And he said, I would, but he showed the tape to take it off. And so then he took it off,
Yeah, exactly.
Because the standard is the standard, and even in his absence, the standard doesn't change. So we're pulling for him and praying for him and know he's going to bounce back solid as ever, and we'll be in that back pedal getting low before you know it. So Coach Prime, man, we love you. We're praying for you, pulling for you. This team is in good hands, the hands that you put it in with the staff that you handpicked to be here. So we're looking forward to an explosive offense for a stymieing defense. And we're going to get out here with victory against Bethune-Cookman and notch one more belt notch for the SWAC East, because this is a SWAC East game, Chuck.
Very much SWAC East game. A couple of keys to the victory for Jackson State today.
Focus. And when I say focus, there was some challenges last week because of homecoming. And this week, the challenge has been, as Coach O talked about in his quick segment there, that our head coach is out. What do we do? Can we really operate this without him? And I think that by the time we got to Thursday, the guys know that they can.
Click back in,
dial back in. Okay. And so now we got to focus on the game in hand. But I think the keys are the keys. As Coach Flea has said, you don't change the recipe. We have got to establish the run.
There you go.
So get Santi and that whole running back crew going.
JD Martin.
JD, exactly. We need an explosive play on defense, to kind of break their back and take the wind out their sails. But man, it's all going to come down to me what happens in the trenches on both sides. You remember a few weeks ago when Shedeur Sanders is on his back, it's hard to have success downfield.
There you go.
Then we come back a couple weeks later and he's not sacked one time, and he picked him apart.
It carved him up. Exactly.
Carved him up like a Thanksgiving turkey. So if this offensive line is dialed in and ready to play and stop the rush and give Shedeur Sanders just the 1.8 to 2.2 seconds he needs, he doesn't need long before he makes his decision that ball is out of his hands. We're gonna carve him up again. But on the flip side, they've got a strong running game over there, Chuck. So our defensive line, y'all remember that name. Quayshawn is a strong running back for Bethune-Cookman. So if our defensive line can get some contact, in the backfield. Get some contact at the line of scrimmage and not give up big plays up the middle and get those edges to set the edge and not let them get to that sideline and take one upfield. We got to run the ball. We got to stop their run. We got to keep QB1 upright. Those three things. Jackson State 35, Bethune-Cookman 10.
You're giving them 10. All right. I'm going to say Jackson State 38, Bethune-Cookman 7. I've seen enough from this defense now to know that it is going to be a hard go trying to get some explosive plays downfield, and you really have to work your way upfield. And that has been a slow go thus far on the season for any opponent of Jackson State. Jackson State only surrendering 12.6 points per game. Well, I tell you what.
I saw a question, Chuck, I want to address. Neely and Bishop, any word on Warren Newman playing today? He was out warming up. When we go out for the other parts of the warm-ups, we'll see and update y'all on that. He has been at practice this week and was out there warming up. So don't have the depth chart in front of us right now because, we normally do the show right up into kickoff.
Right.
So we're missing some of those nuggets and tidbits. But follow, like, share, subscribe to Pregame Show page, and we'll do some other updates for y'all as we get closer to kickoff.
That sounds like a winner, man. Great place to put a pin in this one. It has been another tremendous show. Great shots, live shots from the team warming up out there.
Hey, I tell you what, Chuck, why don't we do this before we sign off? I'm going to go back out and see if they're happening right there now. And I'll take the old trusty portable device out that way, and we'll close out from out there. How about that?
Well, that sounds like a game plan, buddy.
Hey, I'll be right back.
Well, we'll take a quick commercial break here on the pregame show, and we'll get ready to close this thing out from the field.
If you're looking for quality seafood with friendly service, then the Fish Shack is the place for you. We're fast, fresh, and convenient, and ready to serve you today. You can order online and come in, or pick up your food curbside. We have outdoor seating as well. Need something to cool your taste buds? We have tasty daiquiris that you're sure to love. So come see us today at the Fish Shack in Byram, where we have great seafood and good daiquiris.
Well, I got it. I got it.
Of course I got it.
I got it right after work.
That's right. I got the COVID-19 vaccine.
Because self-care. I got it because I wanted to get back to my normal.
I was one of the first ones that got it. And now, I'm helping others get theirs.
So let's get it together. Sign up and get your vaccine today, and let's stop COVID in its tracks. Visit IGotItMS.com.
Well, I got it.
I got it.
You already know. I got the COVID-19 vaccine.
I got it because you can only do prom once.
I got it because my team got big buzz this year.
I got it because my white needs all the help he can get.
I got it because this school year is going to be awesome.
I got it because I missed my friends.
Sign up to get your vaccine today. Find out how at IGotItMS.com.
Let's go! Hey, it's time to hydrate.
Best kept secret in sports, no longer a secret.
Okay, so how long have you been coming to Stanford?
Since 1987. I've forever loved Stansburg because the people, they're real people. They help the community and their family own and operate. And the food, the quality, and service has always been phenomenal. And anywhere I'm at, I always recommend people to them. It's great food, and you get enough love for your money. If you need a good place to eat and you want a good environment to support the community and support the effort of the Jackson community, I recommend Stamp's Superburger to you because, like I said,
It's Pink Friday 2021, and here's a message from one of our survivors.
Hello, I'm Robin Roberts, and I am happy to join the American Cancer Society in the fight against breast cancer. As a breast cancer survivor and proud Mississippi native, I'm honored to support Pink Friday, a fundraiser for breast cancer awareness. We all have a part to play in this fight, and by working together, one day we are determined to find a cure for breast cancer. Get your tickets now to support this wonderful event.
And welcome back to the pregame show. And in closing, we definitely want to thank our sponsors, Terrace Harris of the Cochran Firm, of course, BioSteel. You see it right here on the dais with us. Chambers and Gaylor.
On the what, Chuck?
On the desk here with us.
This man said on the dais. Shout out to Biofuel for sitting on the dais.
Chambers and Gaylor, the Manja Benet Group, the restaurants of Broad Street Bakery, Bravo, and Sal and Mookie's Pizzeria and Ice Cream. Of course, want to thank them for great pizza and wings yesterday, my man.
Yeah, it was outstanding time at Sal and Mookie's. Gave away a couple of tickets. Then we went to Johnny T's that we're normally at pregame show. During the live show Friday night from there, gave away a couple of tickets. So, man, like, share, follow, subscribe to the pregame show, because each week the rest of the season for these home games, we got Texas Southern coming in, and we got, of course, the Soul Bowl coming in. And so we're going to be doing some giveaways on the days leading up to the game, and you might just win a pair of tickets. We don't just give away any tickets. These are box seats.
There you go.
We got sideline passes and VIP passes. So you want to like, share, subscribe, follow to the pregame show. Chuck, it is the top of the hour. We are less than 60 minutes away from kickoff. So it's time to sign off here from the pregame show in the media center at the Vet. Outstanding weather out there. Tigers are in the new black uniforms, the new helmet. So it's a new look out there, looking real snazzy, man, looking real sharp, ready to play ball, doing it for Coach Prime. Rest up, Coach. We love you. We're pulling for you. Team is in capable hands with the staff you assembled and the fans who love and support this team. So, Chuck?
Coach, we got you today. Coach Prime, get well soon. Thoughts and prayers. And, of course, we sending our love your way. And, as always, in closing here on the pregame show, in the words of the immortal Coach Edward Lipscomb, we got a team, by golly. We're going to fight, by golly. And we're going to win, by golly. Until next week, it's Neely, it's Bishop. It's the pregame show here on the Black College Sports Network.